going on YouTube? It's me. Oh no, I'm back again. So here we are with a new radio. Well, not new, but at least new on the channel and out of my box of fun here. So this one here is the Emperor TS-5010. As you see, the front of this kind of looks familiar, doesn't it? Well, remember back the HR President series, the President HR series rather. So that was the HR 2510 and the HR 2600, which came out in the early 90s. And this was basically the successor to those two radios, as this is the Emperor instead of the President radio company. So this one here kind of took the place of the HR 2510, known as the quarter dime, and the HR 2600. The 2510 was so popular, the FCC actually pressured Uniden to get rid of that radio because it was so easily to modify. So replacing the 2510 with the HR 2600, which a little bit more to modify, but not that much, to get the 11 meters. So good thing is you could buy, back in the time that that radio was super popular, it was a company that also offered what was called a chip switch, which basically changed out the processor in the unit and allow you a lot more, oh boy, phone calls already this morning. So they allowed you a lot more functionality than it came with the original radio, such as repeater splits and a lot of memory channels. Offered an amazing amount of selection just by changing out the chip. It was very easy to get that chip. It was just very difficult with the size of that CPU to replace that thing. So that was still an easy modifiable radio. And then we ended up with this Emperor TS-5010, which came after the 2600. It was kind of an in-between radio, and you can tell a lot of the features that were not on the 2510 and were added with the chip switch and also with the 2600 were kind of included in this new radio here. As you can see, it still has the same terminology, such as the span, and you can end up seeing the exact same kind of layout of this radio. It's a little bit bigger of a display, but it still has the same similar layout and separate bands as well. So when you did the modification on this one, it was just resistors as usual. Well, not as usual, but at least on these type of radios it was a resistor. So you go ahead and take care of that and clip it. Here we end up with the miraculous CB band, but yeah, originally touted as a 10-meter radio here. This was mid-90s. I had one at the end of 90s. I had one right about 99, 2000. I ended up getting it second owner, and had everything still in a box, brand new, kind of in the box. Was real nice. I ended up, the radio started to fade away on me, and didn't really have the interest I used to have before I moved to South Carolina. So it was a regrettable sale after I sold it, and talking to people about it, they that was one of the radios they regretted getting rid of, or not even purchasing to begin with. So I ended up finding this pretty cheap this summer, and picked one up. So I ended up picking up two, which is kind of crazy. So the only problem I have with this radio is it has the Clarifier unlocked. I never understood it on the Ranger series, the 2950, 2970, things like that. People would unlock the Clarifier, when in reality you don't have to do that. I understand people just like to tune back and forth, but the problem I have with unlocked Clarifiers is, so what if the guy you're talking to is transmitting off frequency but receiving on frequency, and vice versa, and both of you are transmitting and receiving? By doing that knob, you're shifting back and forth trying to find each other, but your receive is off or your transmit's off. This unlock clarifier is going to cause a lot more issues for both of you trying to tune each other in, because your transmitting going off and your receive may be off on the other side. So I always steer away from unlock clarifiers on amateur radios. I understand it on the Cobra series, but this one here, I somewhat can understand why this is unlocked. Because see, on this bands here, it's set up kind of weird on these bands. When you unlock the clarifier, I can see why on this, because here we are on 27385, and if you go to the span button, and I'm in band F, which is, I'll show you in just a second, but if you go over to the span button, and you can pretty much get anywhere you need to go, see? And that basically is a transmit, slide right there. So you can do that, and you can receive if someone's off like that. So you can just then finally tune them in. So this would be basically what it should be, is your receiver incremental tuning, and this one up here would be able to allow you to transmit at a different frequency, and then you could tune in to the other guy. So you have a little bit more control. But when you just open this up, and this doesn't reflect when this is open and where it actually is. So you have to hope that, and I have to still go over this and hope that is dead center. This is the first time I've really powered this up and gone through it all. So yeah, we have that option available. Now I understand why this is unlocked in this particular radio, because these bands are a little bit weird, and I'll show you. We'll go through the bands here. As you'll see, it's an F band right now. So we'll go through the bands. So you would go at 20, and it's a weird set of bands here. So this one has 20. It starts band 1 channel, band G, channel 1 is 27. See, it's a weird selection of bands right there. So you have band up F50, and it gets you up to 27.5. And if you do this incremental tuning, though, it's a little bit easier to get around. Well, let's go through this one. So now we're back up into H, which is into the 10 meter bands. So this is our band C. That's the normal band. So if you use this, all these channels are actually what they should be. And the problem is when you do this in band C, the only thing that does is change the channel. You can span over wherever you want, but you can't change it. So I understand that. Cool feature with this is a little funny. It's a little bit different than the 29 series, but I always liked the 29 series because it had the A channels built in. Well, this one does have that, and it has one. It has 11A built into it. That's the only one. So if you go down here, it's going to skip right there. 7A skips. It doesn't include that. 3A, it doesn't include that either. You could tune to that. You can't tune to it on the C band, which is, all this channel bank matches up with the frequency. So I understand why someone went through the amount of time to unlock this clarifier, because the next bands you get, they're all off. See, that's another 10 meter. That's on A. These aren't set up as 5kc steps. You have to actually manually do that. I know the battery in this needs a replacement. See, we get down to 26.5. We can go wherever we need to go. Cool thing with this radio is when you go lower than the frequency of the band on when you're on span, it'll end up just going to the next E band or D band, and then take you to the next. They're a little out of order, but if you go to this channel, it's going to take you through the banks of just that channel. So that was the cool thing about having that the channel button will lock you into a 50 set of bank of frequencies. And in this, of course, you can span over and get to where you need to go. Let's see, 26.985. There we go, over channel 1. A lot of people didn't like that because unless you know the frequencies of the channel you're going to talk on, you're going to, see channel 49, and that's not channel 49. So we go back over to our C band here, Oh, I passed it. See, that's the one thing. You got to move around and get there. Now, the one thing that I gotta do a little modification on this channel, this span button too, or this receiver knob, and you know, the channel buttons here operate a little bit differently than if you do that on other bands. So I'm going to work on that. I'll give you more clarification. I'm sure it didn't make any sense what I just said, but yeah. So we're going to see today. We're going to use that radio if any DX comes in, and I'm not going to use the. I'm going to actually just use the mic that came with it. This one is the original static 575 M6, coveted, very coveted. Yeah, they don't make it anymore because it has a volume control. It also has the black sliders, which is also what you want. It's missing the grill. I got to get that, but it has, yep, tone control as well. And this one is actually made in a great case. This is not cheap plastic, and it has the good switch built in. You see, I have this one. Where, see, I just threw this in a bag because I don't use it. Is this thing? This static mic is not the same. You can tell the quality of this thing is not, but this is the MB 6 MB, and this one. So these two microphones, I would pick this one every time because you can actually adjust your tone. So I'm going to use that. Hopefully we're going to hear some DX on the band and put up a little video gate with that. So if I don't hear anything, I guess I'll release this by itself. And if there's some DX, well, we'll talk to them while we get them in. But let me go ahead and plug this in real quick and see if I actually, right now, if anybody's out there. I got the autos, and it actually has auto squelch. And unlike a lot of radios, even today, like the Anytone and that, or they don't auto squelch on the sideband side. So let's see if we hear anything today. I got the volume down. So we'll see what we get today. Sounds like there's a little activity. Like I said, I haven't used this radio, and I know I have to do something with this. And notorious for having to get the glue out of this unit. The President series, old Cobra radios used to have that. There's glue in there that ends up drying out, getting real dark, and then it starts getting conductive. And if not that, it just starts eating away at components inside. I have some radio that has components that are just destroyed because of the glue that they use to keep the parts, solid on the board. So let's see what we get with this radio, as is. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do a little cleaning out of this. But decided why not? Let's pull this radio out. I just haven't used this in a long time, because yeah, it's been what, 21 years. So let's see what we get here. And the only problem I have here is I don't have my frequency counter set up. Yeah, I just like this layout. Everything's just right here. Double use buttons here, hit the shift. And you get right where you need to go. The only thing is it doesn't have a mic gain. It's either off or it's on. But have our old Roger beat. Has the memories. Noise blanker. So yeah. Let's see if we can get anything going on out here. Yeah, as soon as, see if there's anything out here. CQ, calling CQ, CQ, CQDX, India Sierra 1200, South Carolina, standing by. Yeah, I'm definitely have to upgrade these power wires. You can see that. Either, I think the original from the 2510 cord, because yeah, as usual, the cord and the microphone, everything's the same. It's basically the precedent. But unsure if this thing's actually getting out that far. But, oh yeah, I'm going to turn it just a little bit. Usually you get it in the morning, midday it drops out at least around here, and then it'll pick up in the afternoon. I actually heard a lot of traffic last night, about 9 o'clock at night. Just local, you could tell it was just local sidebanders talking. And not around here, it was local to the areas they were. So, I don't know if we got anything. I may just have to come back and see if we find anything once it comes in. There it goes. A little bit. It's local right now, but it'll pick up probably in a little bit. But I'll be back in a minute, y'all. So there's a little bit of DX in there. Unsure if it's actually this radio not picking it up properly, or if it's just the conditions. I know it's my antenna regardless, but usually I can usually have a pretty good copy when the skip rolls in. So I may switch over to the other radio here, the Striker, and see if that is the case. But I'm going to give it a shot real quick. I just don't like that the lights dim as much as they do when I'm keying up. I know that's definitely starving for power. So and radios do a very, very interesting thing. If they're starving, oh, there's 427. I'm going to try for 427 and see if I get them. But starving radios that are starving for power do some very funny things. Sometimes I don't even stay on frequency. So audio gets distorted. It's just, you can tell. But let's see if we can get to the 427 main. Let's see what he's up to. 427 main, 427 main, 1200 South Carolina with a wave. Wow, you got a lot of QRM in there, but I'm getting a 427 main. That's coming right down to me. Well, everyone's picking up the channel now. My goodness, I had 427 main all day in South Carolina, but now everybody's jumping in. It's 1200 South Carolina waving. See, I'm not sure if this thing's doing what it needs to do. Wow, it just turned into sand. It just, let's see if we can pull anybody out of this. CQ, calling CQ, CQ, CQDX, India Sierra 1200, South Carolina. We're standing by. Oh, geez.
767. Oh, excuse me. 203-215-4360. That's right. My name is Mike. I am a gay man. I'm also known as Viking 1 or 88 or Gladiator. You can reach me at 20329 down.
Jeez. Well, I guess everybody uses radio for a different thing. CQ, calling CQ, CQDX, India Sierra 1200, South Carolina. We're standing by.
Roger, 31. We got a copy on you as well, 31. Down around the Kakarot, use Viking 1. The pulsated radio in the northeast corner. I'm getting off down.
Yeah. Maybe the conditions aren't favorable, or I'm just missing out, because this radio needs a good going over, which I'm sure it does anyway. Yeah, actually, this is at a half a watt, or if I remember correctly. Let me see here. This one is at a half a watt. This one here, let's see. But this is what gets me concerned. And is dim, so just going through this stuff, I mean, hey, can't be too bad, right? CQ, calling CQ, CQ, CQDX, India Sierra 1200, South Carolina, standing by. It's just because this says center doesn't mean this thing is center. Still think that's in better shape than the other one I got over here. It's a possibility, but maybe it's not. Let's see what this one. Yeah, this was the other one. This was the other one. I may just fire this one up too. See, now we got two of them. This one's the same thing. It has the clarifier on that. But hey, while the skip is in, I might as well take a little time to see what's going on with these, because otherwise, local, like I said, is very, very hit and miss at the moment. I'm never usually around when they're on. But we'll give it a shot. And there's another guy out there. I think he just started. I think he has a Cobra 2000 that he pulled out of somewhere. I think his name was Phil 102. So he's out there. He's able to get more because guess what? That antenna always bites me in the ass sometimes. So let's see. This I don't know if we just had a little skip, but let me jump over to this other one and see what this one's doing. All right, so now we'll go to this other one. And if anyone has any information on the serial numbers of these associated with the manufacturer date, that would be great for me as well. The one on the bottom here starts with 3X. The one on the top starts with 4 alpha. So I'm not sure if this is the newer version and they go in order like that, or if it is different. But I know they had a couple of variations of this radio, so I'm just trying to see. This one's definitely a lot different here. Let's see here. We'll put this one down. Yeah, I need to get an external speaker and an antenna selector and about 400 other things I need here. So let's get down to the lower side. We'll put the band. C. We'll get down to 38. This one's a lock 2. We'll use the same. So I don't know if this one's not receiving as much or anything, or if the band just completely dropped out. Anything's possible right now. But we're waiting around here. Let's see if there's anything else anywhere on this. Well, it is picking up. I'll show you what I'm talking about with this receive now. See, we go one way, they're off. And they can go off. But like I said, it doesn't reflect here, but I understand because in band C, you're locked. You're just locked in. You're just locked into channel. But these radios, I mean, in reality, these are great for what you can do, but man, oh man, they got that channel rocking already. Let me just go ahead and get the, so we know we're receiving, at least on AM. There's that 11A again. I'm going to bring that back. That's going to be my new home channel, I think. Everyone go to 11A, sideband. All right, let's get to it here. And we're just picking up noise. Yep, there's 20. So yeah, we're getting good on the AM side. So let's see if there's anything going on lower again. You see the difference here also. These are white, these are not. You gotta know where to tune that in. AM is a lot easier to there we go. There's that echo on sideband again, my goodness.
Yeah, still too much echo, way too much echo. This is like Beacon 1, Long Island, New York.
Let's see if this one dims when I key
Oh,
up.
gee, Papa Boy, I can hear you now, man. You had way too much echo. And instead of playing with it, I just leave it right where it is and see where it goes when it warms up. 777-376, Connecticut. Yeah, that's, the clarifier is open. When you key up the microphone, it should actually read out the frequency you're transmitting on. Yeah, Bracho. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he can.
See him here and have conversations again. We'll throw out as the world radio. I haven't done that in quite some time.
It's a little bit off frequency, but it sounds a whole lot better without the echo. Oh, you definitely touched it because it was on so loud, yeah, you couldn't even understand what you were saying with the echo.
See what you can do. We'll do a call on the international sidebanders channel here. To India Sierra 1200, South Carolina, standing by. And yep, we do run upper side on that. We'll go back down to 38 real quick.
Yeah, buddy, Roger, audio drive, get back. That's all you need when the skipper's out there. Roger, Roger. Viking 41. We'll catch up with you later.
No, we got a little DX this morning. I do like that. 1200 South Carolina, standing by. I don't even know. Let's see if that was doing anything. Audio check 1 2. Okay, there it is. Let's go to that meter for modulation. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, there it is. See, this one's not dimming near as much. So I can get a little bit of power off of it. That one down here, well, I think is in better shape, is not doing the same. So let's go back to there we go. And we'll turn the meter back to of course everything has to stop. That's how the world is in my favor.
gun. I got my Joe gun facing out towards the west, and you coming in here like gangbusters yourself there. Rebel 45 on a Confederate radio. Viking 1 with the holiday wave, and I'm back in the bushes. Roger, Roger, 101, we got you near as well. Holiday wave right back to you too, my friend. 101, Viking 1, New York. Roger, Roger, well, 10-5 that to Rebel 45 there, 101, Randy down there in Florida, giving the old holiday wave there, Rebel 45, Viking 1, New York, and we're back in the bushes.
I wonder if that is better on frequency or not. Get a shot here. CQDX, India Sierra 1200, South Carolina. We're standing by. So these may not be in the best of shape, but at least we pulled them out of the box. See, threw a little dust off of them, cleaned them up, and they do receive. But I think they're a little high. I think this one's a little high. So this may not be going anywhere. But hey, at least we...
Viking 1, Viking 1, Viking 1, Long Island, New York, the most hated radio in the northeast corner, dropping a big old hammer, and I'm getting on down.
Uh-oh. Hey, Viking 1, 1200, South Carolina with a holiday wave.
Roger, Roger, 1200, we're going to send that holiday wave right back to you. 1200, Viking 1 with the wave.
Appreciate it. Just, yeah, make sure my radio still works and getting up to you. I do appreciate it. Got this Emperor 2510, just giving it a shot, and do appreciate the holiday wave.
Roger, Roger, right back at you. That old Emperor's be working good up this way, no doubt. That 2510 be smoking. All right, 1200, Viking 1 on the North Shore of Long Island, and I'm back in the crack.
Click, click. Well, it did work. How about that? I even said it wrong as a 5010, or I said the 2510, but then again, we're playing on words and model numbers. There's the 5010 and the 2510, you understand? That was another little joke that they gave us. But hey, so this one works. It's awesome.
How about that Kentucky station getting back to 699? Go ahead.
So that's good. I have on this. I think I have a photo, but I'm gonna do a video on this stuff too about what's going on with this radio inside with the glue. But all right, well, at least it worked. We got a little connection, we got a little contact, and that was what we needed to do. So at least this one up top here, doing what it needs to do. So I'm gonna have to go down to that one, but I think that one has a little bit of issues compared to this one here. I think, and I was expecting this one's actually the one that I didn't expect to work as well. I'll probably snip in a unboxing video as well when I got these. So, all right, if I'm back, it'll be because there's some more DX. See ya.